Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are live and we are going to talk about Adepticon. We are going to talk about all of the games that I'm excited about. We're going to talk a lot of gaming. We're going to do some Q&A. This is sort of a two-part stream. It's an Ask Me Anything as well as an Adepticon giveaway bonanza. We're also going to have some other giveaways as well. Especially the more people we get, we'll do more giveaways on top of the giveaways we already have. So for every 100 viewers we get, we'll add more onto this. So be sure to share this stream out because this isn't one of those giveaways where you have 30 days to claim it. Like, you have to get it now. I have to get these names of the winners into Adepticon so you can get your prizes, you can get ticketed, and you have time to book your flight and room and all of that other stuff. So a little bit about all of this. What's going on, everybody in chat? Well, first I want to talk to some of you guys in chat, and then we're going to talk about the specifics of the Adepticon giveaways, and we'll do our first giveaway in just a moment. So if you're here early, you're getting very early. Give me if you're planning on going to Adepticon and you want a chance to enter to win one of the packages, do a hashtag Adepticon in the chat right now, and then I will go over the specifics of it, and then we'll get our first winner. What's going on, Nick, JJ, Ross? What's going on, Clyde, Andrew, James, Craig, and Peter, and Mr. Hobbititino? Oh my goodness! Sorry, I probably butchered some of those names. Thanks for hanging out with me right now. We're having a good time. So basically, here's what the deal is. Adepticon has been in contact with me, and they have graciously provided me with 10 badges. One has already been claimed through Patreon. So we've got 9 regular badges. But they're not too regular. They're not. They're basically your core badge. Now I think that's about a $65 value plus $20 versus of in-store credit that you can use on the Adepticon webpage. That's going to be for your cart, where you can go in and sign up for additional events. You can sort by day. You can sort by whatever. Thing about this is these are not like retroactive, so they're not. If you've already purchased a badge, they're not going to refund your existing badges. So it's for new badges. So if you were already going, that's okay, because this means you can bring somebody else with you. You can bring a friend, or you can just get a new badge and have $20 of credit if you want to do that as well. So that is an option. But this is really a really great option for people who are either local to Milwaukee or not too far away, that were like on the fence and thinking about going anyway, or people who are definitely going that just hadn't got bought their tickets yet. So that's definitely the good thing. And then we also have an advanced badge. Now this is the big one. This is the very, very big one. This is a massive badge that is going to get you the advanced badge. There were only 2,000 of these. So there were very few of them. Now, what the advanced badge gets you, in addition to full access to the con, everything the core badge gets, that includes, admission, which you don't even need a badge to just go in and look around. But if you want to participate, if you want to play in any of the tournaments, if you wanted to, enter any of the painting competitions, there's a lot of things that come with badge access that is going to get you. But in addition to that, that also gives you the Adepticon 2025 swag bag, which is really, really cool. Other years of swag bags have been incredible. So, like, different vendors and companies will donate entire games to go into the swag bag. I've seen some swags where you get you get a patch, and you get a sticker, you get a pen or whatever. Like, you may walk out of Adepticon 2025 with like entire new games, like core sets or expansions or limited edition miniatures for this game or that game. And ideally, it's a way for a publisher to kind of to whet your appetite. If you're going to Adepticon, they know that you're into minis. They know that you're into tabletop gaming. They know that you're a big fan of all of these things. And so they want to try to, advertise to you like their perfect target audience. And so you're going to get some good stuff. I've seen one year was like Song of Ice and Fire, an entire core set plus an expansion. I've seen like Legion have a whole core set in there. I've had you know, stuff like that. I think Shatterpoint was one of them at one point also. So again, you have no idea what you're getting. I'm excited to take a look at it because there's a whole bunch of extra unboxings. So I had personally picked up one of those for myself, but I was like mashing F5, and it's not easy to get the advanced badges. So we're going to be picking a winner from that as well. But that, in addition to the advanced badge, you're also going to get, if you win this big one, you're also going to get an Adepticon 2025 pin badge, an Adepticon 2025 coaster, a 2025 Adepticon exclusive miniature. You know, yeah, it's very cool stuff. So, I don't know what miniature it's going to be. You might even walk away with more stuff than I'm getting. So, this is going to be a really, really fun time. So let's do our first core badge giveaway. Now, if you win any of these, I need you to, after the stream is over, or write it down. You can do it during the stream. I'm not going to get back to them right away. I'm going to need you to go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com and tell me what you've won, because we'll also do some other giveaways that aren't in here. But tell me what you've won, and then I'll get your additional details and information from there. So today's first winner is going to be Ross Prosser. Congratulations, Ross. You've got the first badge, and I'm going to write that down so I don't lose track. All right. Now, keep in mind, if you do win one of these, and it doesn't preclude you from winning the big prize. So you can enter to win every single one. If you stay the whole stream, you are still eligible to win the big one. And if if it's just you, then that's fine. Go ahead and you can, if you want to just throw your smaller badge back in the running, and we can do another giveaway or whatever. We'll work that out. But we don't have a whole lot of time to do all this. So I have to have all of these submitted by next week. So there's not much time. So that's why I need all of these within 24 hours. Otherwise, I'm going to roll them over into Patreon giveaways and other things like that. So that's why we're doing this for one big stream. So, but yes, so very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So that's the first one. And now we got the first giveaway out of the way, we can start talking about some of the games and some of the fun stuff that you're going to see at Adepticon 2025. Now, one of the things that's very cool about Adepticon 2025 is exclusives. There are all kinds of convention exclusives that different publishers are putting out that you can only get at cons. Some of them are Adepticon exclusive. A lot more nowadays are doing convention exclusives, which they will put out for multiple stuff. So you can get you can get some things. Now, two companies so far that I know of, and of course I'm sure it's going to be more than two. But GW and Atomic Mass Games both have announced some of their exclusives. So GW has, I want to say Gene Stealer. My 40K stuff is a little rusty, but then they also have a Skaven. I'm more of an Age of Sigmar player for GW. And so I'm going to be trying to pick up that Skaven Claw Lord there, because he looks pretty cool, and they actually gave him a name, even though you don't need a named character in game. It's more just for flavor, It'd be like having a stormtrooper named Bob, and you're like, okay, well, Bob isn't a specific. Bob doesn't get any special rules. He's still a stormtrooper, right? But it's cool to do it. And then AMG has their Shatterpoint Ahsoka versus Darth Vader. I'm still trying to find out, and let me know if you know in the comments if they're doing this as just a simple alternate art piece, or if they're making these custom Ahsoka and custom Vader. The reason I say that is because typically in the past, when different Asmodee companies have done, like when Fantasy Flight used to do a convention exclusive piece, it was just an alternate art. But in this case, all of the diorama kits they've been doing for Shatterpoint have been, hey, these are dioramas, but they have special unit cards, and there's a little bit of power creep in there. So I'm curious if they're gonna do it that way. So as far as exclusives go, that's those are just two. There's a lot of other really cool exclusives. The AMG exclusive is supposed to be orderable from home during the con. Well, that is... it doesn't surprise me. No exclusives for Legion. None that they've said so far. Although you are going to have world tournaments, right? So, this is time for, like, if you're an X-Wing player, this is the final Worlds under Atomic Mass Games. There's going to be prizes. They're going to have a prize wall. They've talked about that a little bit. So it's a, there's things that you can get at the con outside of exclusives, but I'm it's kind of a bummer they didn't do a Legion exclusive. But at the same time, I get that they're doing they're really trying to promote Shatterpoint lately, like way more so than normal. And granted, it's a nice looking miniature for Shatterpoint, but it would have been nice if there was stuff for other games too. Sometimes it feels like they forget how many games they have. But yeah, so X-Wing's going to be having their worlds. There's going to be a prize wall there. I'm not sure exactly on what all the prizes are for X-Wing, but I know that for Armada, which is also having their final worlds under Atomic Mass Games, it's the prizes are sort of feel like there's still room left. And of course, this is a great gathering for these two games because this is the opportunity. This is the last opportunity to gather in the last official worlds. Doesn't mean it'll be the last tournaments that happen. Doesn't mean they'll be the last Adepticon tournaments that happen. Doesn't even mean they'll be the last worlds, but it doesn't mean they'll be the last official worlds until some other game picks them up. The next marketing plan, Bob Wilson says, the next marketing plan for Shatterpoint is to put a $20 bill in each box. Wow, that's really funny. Wait for them to go on sale for $19.99 and then pick one up. Yeah, Legion exclusives were a con tradition. They had the Vader, they had the Obi-Wan, they had the Luke Skywalker one during COVID, which wasn't really a con exclusive. It was more of a season exclusive since they weren't really doing cons at the time. So that's a thing. But the box will cost $20 more. The X-Wing Alliance already has new tournament kits for X-Wing. Yeah, they're trying to do some things. They definitely are. I've seen a lot of the stuff you guys have been talking about with them too. I just can't get behind anything that uses that AMG rule set. So I'm more of if I were to play X-Wing, it probably would be like on. I really wish they would update Fly Casual. I don't know if the guy who made it was in Ukraine, but that one was a little closer. I'd love to see Fly Casual reverted back to like X-Wing Legends. Because I liked the pre-Atomic Mass Games version. I liked being able to run generics. I liked being able to, run stuff with no points. I didn't like loadout value. I didn't like anything AMG did with X-Wing at all. I liked the concept of the standard loadouts, but the problem was they made them like too good. I think the winning format was really X-Wing, their quick build cards, their promo quick builds under Fantasy Flight. Quick builds at first were okay, but the problem with the quick builds at first was that it didn't tell you what any of the stuff did. So you still had to go pull out all of those cards. So it ended up making it not quick. It just meant you no choice. Then when they started doing promos, they had quick builds that actually had the rules text under each upgrade. So it's like now all of a sudden I have all the stuff that I need. So I think that's a kind of a cool thing. But then with AMG, the standard loadouts, it was like, I don't know, they took it too far. The idea was cool, except I kind of started to see the writing on the wall. It's like, oh, this is all they're ever gonna do. It's kind of where it got there, which was a weird thing. But I'm excited. I'm going to be playing in the Armada tournament. Andrew Lynch, what's going on? There isn't news. This stream is for a big giveaway. We're going to do another one here in just a minute. We are giving away Adepticon passes. These are badges for Adepticon that come with also $20 of cart credit to come and so you get to go to the con for free, enter the painting competitions, and $20 of credit. We got a whole bunch of these from Adepticon to give away, plus one advanced badge. So go ahead and do speaking of, let's go ahead and do our second giveaway of the night, and do a hashtag Adepticon2. This is going to be giveaway number 2 in the chat if you want to have a chance to enter to win for our second one. So Adepticon 2 in chat, and we'll keep talking about Armada here. So I'm playing in the Armada tournament. I have been doing a lot of thought about what I might be running for my list. I know some people have been asking me, have you settled on what kind of list you're going to run for Armada Worlds? And it's funny, the first Worlds I'm going to is the last Worlds, which is always it's a funny one to me. By the way, enter to win this if you are able to attend, because this does not come with free airline tickets. It doesn't come with a free hotel. This is for people who are actually able to go, ideally. Or if you're, you don't have to live there. If you were on the fence, if you were thinking of going anyway, that is the key. So, and again, if you do win, make sure you email me at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. All right. So, the winner of a ticket number 2 is going to be Nathan Bailey. Congratulations, Nathan Bailey. Go ahead and shoot me a email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. I should play Separatist. They've received a lot of points benefits in the update. They have. They seem like they're certainly more viable, especially for squadrons. They got a little bit of what they needed. Not enough of what they needed, but a little bit, which is pretty cool. And all these giveaways are courtesy of Adepticon, by the way, so you can head over to adepticon.org and check them out. It's linked in the video description below. So that's definitely something that you can do. And if you're looking for hotels, at the bottom of the Adepticon page is a list of all the hotels nearby. A lot of them are very, very close. If you're like me, you want to be close to a convention. They have this whole, like adjoining hotels that have like a skywalk. You don't even have to go into the outdoors. If it's snowing, you don't even have to go out into the snow if you don't want to. If you're transporting miniatures and it's raining, you don't want to go outside, you don't have to. Very cool. And they have special rates. So like between like $130 and $165 a night for a lot of them. Which is, very reasonable. So, yeah, very, very cool stuff. All right. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about Armada. I'm excited about what is coming. Let me know in chat what are some of your favorite games and what are some of the games that you're interested in checking out at Adepticon. One of my favorite games is also Star Wars Legion. Always has been since the early days. Although I think I liked it better under FFG. It's still been one of those games that I've played forever. Do we have any Legion players in the house? Let me know. And I'm curious of some of your guys' thoughts. Like, have you been playing the new 2.6.1 version of Legion under Atomic Mass? And how, what are your takeaways? Do you feel as excited to play Legion now as you used to feel? If I were king for a day, I'd love to take it back to the days when we had Alex Davey and Luke Eddy working on each new wave of Legion. To me, that was the sweet spot. But yeah, not so much the new rules for me. But I mean, they're not terrible. It's not like it's not as bad as what they did to X-Wing, in my opinion. It's, that didn't even feel like X-Wing anymore to me. But this at least still feels like Legion. It's so much that's changed. It's very easy to forget. It makes it hard for me to do, battle reports and stuff, because the more, when you make a mistake on your kitchen table while playing against somebody, it's not a big deal. You just, either correct it or you both miss it, and then you realize it some day later, or sometimes you never notice. But every mistake that I make, I get 20 people telling me you screwed up, the same thing over and over and over again. So that's one of the reasons I'm not as crazy about big new rules. What's going on? If you're just joining us, you have missed 2 of our 10 giveaways that we're doing tonight, but there's or possibly more than 10. Make sure you guys are sharing this. If we get over 100 viewers, we're gonna up the giveaways. We're gonna add more giveaways. So that's definitely something we want to try and do. So Let's see, and I'm gonna take questions and stuff too, because this isn't just talking about the convention and talking about some of our favorite games. We are also talking about your questions, and that's James Potter says, yeah, I'm looking forward to Conquest. Oh yes, I'm roughly familiar with that game. I didn't get to play it very much, but we did do some work with some of the miniatures from it. Actually, I have one of their big giants that I have rebased, and I use him as a proxy giant for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is really cool because he's very close to one of the giants for that game too. But you're also looking to Star Wars Legion, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Cyberpunk, Red Combat Zone, and a role-playing game that's going on there called Lancer. I'm not familiar with Lancer, but I'm familiar with everything else. We're going to talk about a lot of those games. I don't have Marvel Crisis Protocol on the list here, but it's kind of on the list. We're going to talk a little bit about that. What are my predictions for the announcement at Adepticon? I assume you're talking about the Atomic Mass Games announcement. I have a section on that and that I'm going to talk about, because I do have some. In short, I think they're going to spend a lot of time talking about Marvel Crisis Protocol and Shatterpoint, and maybe not enough time talking about Legion. But I would love to be wrong about that. I even though I'm not really thrilled with the direction they've taken Legion, there are some things that I think they've done right, and I'm actually putting together a list of because again, some people say I'm too hard on AMG, some people say I'm too soft on AMG, so I'm putting together a list of like pros and cons on things I think they've done well and things I think they could have done better with, and specifically it's kind of gearing towards Legion. The problem is I have a whole lot of. It's harder for me to find things that I think they've done well. There's been a few, but yeah. Andrew Lynch says, more Star Trek Into the Unknown, please. Yes, absolutely. Well, there was supposed to be something this week. I don't know. It may be pushed. It may be delayed a little bit. I think we'll have some news by Adepticon, if not before. I'm excited. I really want to see Klingon ships. I really do. I was just watching. I'm still watching my Star Trek: The Next Generation rewatch, and every Klingon episode. I love the models. I feel like Next Generation has aged very, very well. When is Adepticon? It is March 26th through 30th at the Baird Center in Milwaukee. This is right in downtown Milwaukee. It's right in the heart of the town. You've got hotels all around, restaurants all around, little shops and bars and pubs and things all around, everything walking distance. I'm going to have a fantastic time. It's going to be really good. I'm going to tell you the one issue that I have with the time frame for Adepticon. Every year I really concentrate on getting a quality April Fool's Day video out there. Look, I love doing April Fool's Day videos. April 1st is a sacred day in my household. I absolutely love doing a huge I love doing a huge April Fool's Day, extravaganza especially on my channel. I always try to have a very funny video. Not to the point of being cruel or telling people it's like, oh, I'm dead or things like that. I don't like those kind of April Fool's jokes, but I do really love something that is just like adorable, and or just hilarious, or something to give you a good belly laugh. And I've had some really fun ones. I think, what was last year's? Did I do the I think the last year I did the one where it was like tabletop simulator with a board game, coming soon with a tabletop simulator mod, and so, but with Adepticon being March 26th through 30th, that does not give me much time to put together a quality April Fool's video. And so what that means is I have to now do that well in advance, and it's a little bit of an inconvenience for me. I mean, I guess I could probably really try to crank it out like after coming back from Adepticon, as if I'm not going to have enough things on my mind. But yes, how can you tell someone you're dead if you're dead? I don't know. Yeah. Through a bad April Fool's joke, I think is the answer to that. James says, here's a question for you. What are you drinking? I am drinking. I'm not sponsored by Coke Zero, but I'm just drinking Coke Zero. I'm not drinking any scotch tonight. Although sometimes but less alcohol these days. I'm saving that for Adepticon. There'll probably be some drinking involved. All right. My wife just shouted at me from the other room. She's like, James Potter, is that Harry Potter's dad in your stream? We're big Harry Potter fans around this household. So, all right. So Legion also is having their worlds. Yeah, more and more people I talk to are very much of the mindset that they like the what is Sean playing? Oh, well, yes. So those of you who watch my battle reports, most of my battle reports are with my best friend Sean, and he is also coming with me. So you get to meet him too if you're there. But he is, I don't know if he's playing in any tournaments. He is going to be going to doing some painting workshops and yeah, and just doing print and play worlds for Legion. Yeah, it's really it's so strange that they've changed, put so much print and play out there. I mean, we've always had sort of stuff like that, but we also had card packs, and I know that they're doing card packs, but just the gap of time was a big weird one for me. Is when they announcing a whole new edition, and then it's officially illegal as of like right away, as of this day, but you won't be able to get any of the stuff for it for a year or more, which is super strange to me. And so then you have a whole year of print and play on a game that has historically not been print and play. It's a very, very weird thing. No Jin Pathfinders. If we were doing the Legion tournament, I'm sure that's what it would be. I think we're kind of waiting to see where Jin and Pathfinders land. We haven't been doing a whole lot of Legion gameplay lately, although I would still like to. I'm uncertain of where the future of Legion is. If you notice, I have not done any Legion unboxings for any of the new stuff. There's I have limited money to spend. I'm going to Adepticon, so I'm saving my money for Adepticon. And it means I don't have money to give to Atomic Mass Games for a game that I don't know if it's going to be around next year or not. It certainly looks like it will. There was some signs that like everything is going out of stock and not enough stuff is coming in. Things are going extinct faster than new stuff can be reproduced, and it's it doesn't look good for the game. But they did also just announce that they're hiring somebody to come work on like a paid internship, which is always weird because it's like, okay, so that just means you're going to basically it's a Legion developer job you're just going to pay them minimum wage for. But I get that. I mean, you want to. The cool thing about it is you don't have to have a ton of experience, and it's a way for you to get experience, and you get to work on a really cool IP. So, look, I'd love to do it. I would love to do it. I don't think I have enough free time to take on like a third job right now, though. I don't think I can do it. So, yeah, curious to see how Shatterpoint Legendary Encounters works. I think that's that scenario thing that they talked about at last mini extravaganza. They outlined it a little bit. It seems like they're going to be specific objectives that are more thematic with it, kind of meant to mimic specific scenes of like a prison break and things like that. I don't know. I feel like the Shatterpoint would have just been great if they'd have just made it with Marvel Crisis Protocol's rule set. I don't know why they had to take Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is by many accounts a very good game, and take out most of the things that people love about it. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, the models are still very nice. So, we'll see. So I was asked a little bit about the Atomic Mass Games Studio preview. I want to talk about that a little bit. But first, we're going to do another giveaway. We're going to do giveaway number 3. So if you have just joined, we are giving away 9 packages that are for a core badge that gets you into Adepticon, gets you access to the painting competitions, the ability to sign up for events, and also this comes with $20 of cart credit that you can use on the Adepticon web cart. That's going to go towards other events if you want to sign up for a painting workshop or something like that. Very cool stuff. All you have to do, you got to be a subscriber, which if you're here already, I'm guessing you are, and you're going to do a Bob Wilson. You're jumping ahead. Bob Wilson with the hashtag Adepticon3. Well, just for that, I want to see Adepticon 33. Hashtag Adepticon 33. So that's, do me a hashtag Adepticon 33 if you want to win one of the badges for Adepticon. And Bob was trying to be too fast. I seen that, Bob. I mean, good spirits to you, though. I mean, I get it. Oh, that's funny. All right, so I'll pick a winner here in just a minute. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and talk about what I think we're gonna see from the AMG Studio panel, and of course it's not gonna be any X-wing or Armada. I'm gonna try to attend. I'm playing in the Armada tournament, and the tournaments are going until until like 10 or something like that, and like the event starts like half an hour prior to the end of the Armada round, so there's a little bit of crossover, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. We're going to have to see. I'm going to do my best, but we'll see. I also don't want to be playing, I don't want to drop from a game in the Last Worlds just to go do it. And we got a super chat from Peter von Bleichard. He says, first Adepticon drink fund. Hero. What a hero. Look at this guy. Look at Peter over here. Man, thank you, brother. Thank you. Fist bump right here. Wait, hold on. You get a mini crab. Don't you? Yes, you do. Oh my gosh, he gets a mini crab. It's time for a mini crab for the super chats. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Peter. Peter's always supported the channel. Peter's been a great guy. Let me tell you about Peter. One of the all right, that's enough of the mini crab. What did you, I'm trying to think what convention was it? That little Emperor and versus Darth Vader set. Like Peter hooked me up, man. He's been a longtime supporter. So, I don't know if you're gonna be there. We have to get we'll have to get like a selfie or something like that for sure. All right, let's go. Let's all right. Let's do our winner, and our winner is gonna be. How do I say that? What? Oh, it's I think it's White Knight 695 WHTKNGHT 695. Congratulations, Which Knight? All right, WAGHT 695. There we go. All right. Congratulations, White Knight 695. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and we'll get you squared away with. And let me know what you've won. We're going to do some other giveaways. It's not only Adepticon badges, but it's we're going to do some other stuff as well. So very cool stuff. All right. So what do I think we're going to see at the Adepticon panel from Atomic Mass Games for their studio update? Definitely a lot of. I think this is the year they give us the Fantastic Four for Marvel Crisis Protocol. That's my big prediction there. Is I think we're going to get that. I also think they're going to talk a lot about Shatterpoint. They did just spoil some new Shatterpoint stuff, like a new card pack or something like that. Admittedly, again, it's not a game that I like. It has great miniatures. Very much don't like the gameplay. The first time I played it, I liked it. And I did like a review even. I did a positive review. But then it got very repetitive. The game started to feel the same, and then there was certain combinations that revealed themselves as like, oh, this game has some critical flaws that just suck all of the fun out of it. And I've had really negative gaming experiences playing it. So it's, I mean, honestly, instead of trying to do a new rule set for Legion, they should be trying to do a new rule set for Shatterpoint and make it fun. Maybe that's what they should hire an intern fund is for somebody who knows how to write fun rule sets for games. Because, I don't know. But that's me being cruel. I shouldn't be cruel. All right. But for Legion, here's the concern I have for Legion is there's a shrinking supply of stock for Legion. Legion it's nearly impossible for a new player to get into Star Wars Legion right now. They have plenty of stuff for existing players to get like the brand new releases. And that's great, but your game is going to shrink and shrivel if you can't get new players into it. And also people who want to start another faction kind of can't. You know, you're missing all the Battle Force boxes. You're missing a lot of, starters. You're missing a lot of critical, critical core options and, things like that. So they need to address that. They had only announced 7 reprints at last year's Adepticon. And things are, we've had, I want to say like 50 or 60 or 70 items disappear from the shop that are all sold out now. It's growing every day. More and more things sell out and things are being removed from the web store. So again, if it's taking a year for 7 reprints, how long is it going to take for the 70 more that we need? That's one of my concerns. Now, obviously, some of those numbers will be, fixed by putting multiple things in one box, like they're doing. Like Krennic is coming back, but he's not going to be a standalone box like he was before. He's got Tarkin Tag and Grand Admiral Thrawn in a box with him. So he's got some extra things. So he's got 4 Imperial guys in one box. That's a cool thing. But those other 3 are new ones. They're not, the reprints. So I don't know how they're doing all of that. JJ asks, are you playing any Star Wars Unlimited at Adepticon? I didn't know they were going to have many card games at Adepticon. I haven't played Star Wars Unlimited since the first set came out. It's one of those cool games, but I just really wish they'd make a digital complement for it. I am going to bring some Magic decks. I might bring a couple of Commander decks just in case. That's the one thing I like about. The one thing I don't like about card games is when they get so big and then you have to oh great, I have to build another deck. Hold on, a new set came out. Hold on, I've got 15,000 cards I now have to resort and reorganize. Or I need to build another deck. Oh, I need to build I want to build an elf deck. Oh, okay, hold on a second. This will take me only a 4-day weekend, and I can go through all my cards and get what I need. I hate that. So I like digital versions for cards. I like it a lot. That's my thought. And so before Star Wars Unlimited kind of got me to that point, I slowed down with that. So I haven't even bought any of the. I bought one box of set number 2, and I stopped there. So I have some decks, but they're all from set 1. But yeah. So going back to Star Wars Legion and what I think they need to do is I think they at least need to talk about and acknowledge the fear in the community and the difficulties with supply and restocks and the shrinking supply and what this does to retailers too, who when the game's no longer available, people can't get into it. I keep hearing stories about retailers that aren't carrying Legion anymore. It's doing a lot of damage to Legion. For it to take this much of a hiatus is hitting. It's not just a speed bump. It's like a sinkhole. In the momentum that Legion had. That's a thing. So yeah, that's the thing. So I hope they acknowledge that, and I hope they have a plan. Now, they did 2 things recently. They announced another intern for somebody to come work on Legion. That's great. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully it doesn't mean that somebody else quit. And but additionally, I hope Andrew Dursum's still there, because he seems like he understood the game pretty well. So that's a thing. But I think they also announced that Geonosians coming back into play, into reprints, and there are also it's a core, so you definitely need to be able to get core to be able to play the game. So it's good to have core options, but were Geonosians really the models that should have been reprinted? Shouldn't it have been the B2s? If anything, the B2 Super Battle Droids really should have been there. Yeah, so that's my thought is while having unannounced reprints show up is potentially a good thing, it's also potentially a bad thing, because it's okay, well, why did we do those? Do you guys not have your pulse on the community? Do you guys not know what's out of print? But ultimately, what would be great is if they do address those things and they say, oh, surprise, we have a lot more reprints and we have Battle Force boxes and all of this stuff is coming, and here's a timeline for it, and hopefully they cover all of the stuff that's out of print. That would be great. I know I've seen some of you asking about Star Trek Into the Unknown. Whiz Kids is also going to be there. Now, primarily they're going to be doing learn to plays, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. The game is rules heavy. If you have ever been a fan of Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, or Next Generation, and you really like Star Trek, do yourself a favor and swing over by Whiz Kids. Get a demo of this game. It is incredible. It feels like an episode of Star Trek. It's a great system. It can do so many different things. I'm a big fan of this game. I do think by this time they'll have new stuff. They may have. I wouldn't be surprised if they had like some Klingon ships or something like at the booth to show off, even if they're not like, if there's not an official media announcement yet, they may still have them. I'll be going by there. That's on my list. That's part of my treasure hunter list of things to do when I'm at Adepticon, is swing by the Whiz Kids booth and find John Schaefer or somebody else from Whiz Kids and be like, all right, what can you show me? What do we have? Because I can't wait. I want to see it. Yeah, it is very fun. It's a very cool game. It has great miniatures too. They're beautiful. And they're surprisingly affordable, compared to what AMG would have told you that you would lose money by making stuff like this. I don't know. I don't know how you can get beautiful, pre-painted, pre-built ships for half the price of an AMG model of the same size that's still on a sprue. I don't know. It's crazy. All right. But yeah, and they're having learn to play events, and they'll have a booth set up, and there's other stuff that Whiz Kids will have too besides Star Trek Into the Unknown. Dungeons and Dragons Onslaught will be there, which is also a miniatures game pre-painted in the Dungeons and Dragons world, which is a cool, and I had covered it for a while. I'm not playing it so much anymore, but it's a cool idea of my team versus your team versus the environment, because there's monsters and traps and things like that, and it's a cool contest. Like, whoever can get in there and get the treasure first wins. I love it. Charles Castles says, I'll stick with X-Wing 1.0, rebuilding my collection years after selling it. Woo! I liked 1.0 too. That was my favorite X-Wing. That was my favorite time playing X-Wing too. A lot of it had to do with the nostalgia of the time too, but it was great. It was great. Another place that I definitely want to stop by, I think you guys should check out as well, is Monster Fight Club booth. They're going to have some really cool stuff. If you guys haven't already played Cyberpunk Combat Zone, here is one of my favorite games. This game is absolutely incredible. And I'm going to tell you why here in a minute, but we're going to do another giveaway first. So let's change it up a little bit. Instead of Adepticon this time, because this would be number 4, let's do Cyberpunk 4. Do hashtag Cyberpunk 4, and that'll enter you to win the next giveaway for the Adepticon badge. And yeah, all right. So while you guys are doing that, I'll tell you why I like Cyberpunk Combat Zone. So Monster Fight Club is a company that makes... I first noticed them when they were doing some of their Metropolis terrain, which is awesome cityscape terrain, that I thought, well, hey, this would be really cool in games like Legion, or even especially in Marvel Crisis Protocol. And then they started doing all this other stuff, with Cyberpunk Combat Zone, which I didn't play at first, but I love setting up beautiful boards, with lots of terrain and just filling them out and making it feel like a real world. And that's something that I feel like I used to do a little bit more with Legion under Fantasy Flight Games, but a lot less now. With the Legion's just got like more specific stuff, and just and the fact that like everybody can fly now is weird in Legion. So I feel like Combat Zone is a game that really lets me build any kind of board I want, because you can play on anything. It doesn't even have to be a flat surface. Although it's better if you have some flat areas for sure, but you don't have to. it lets you do anything with the terrain, which is fun. And then it has really meaningful stuff. Like you can move, you can throw things, you can throw people off of terrain. You can, being up high after a certain distance, you can die if you fall off, versus just taking damage if you fall off, versus having a chance not to take any damage if you fall off. It's Combat Zone is a really fun game, and it also doesn't take all day because you're typically running just a handful of dudes. It's more like a kill team style of game where you're managing individuals, but it has a great 3-color system. This reaction system is really cool. They've created a whole new engine for this game, and it's fun, and they make gorgeous minis, and they're also made domestically. They're made here in the United States as well. For most of the stuff, I think they do have some things that come from overseas, but most of their production is local and domestic. So that's also another reason to look into this, because in case when there's shipping crises and you can't get things in or whatever, companies that are actually making stuff here in the United States, you can still get stuff from. So that's another reason why Monster Fight Club is awesome, and they have so much fantastic terrain too. So that's a really cool stuff. We're going to pick a winner right now. And the winner for this Adepticon badge is going to be... here it goes. Clayman Films. Clayman Films. Congratulations. Clayman Films. All right, got you. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. What was your MOS when you were in the Army? I don't know if I want to reveal that much. I was in the Signal Corps. I did computer stuff. But, Signal Corps. I still do computer stuff. I actually work for, some stuff in Orlando that does some things kind of like, adjacent to that. Yeah. But yeah, so, Cyberpunk Combat Zone was very cool. They're having a tournament. I think there's like 7 spots left. There's a couple of spots left, so if you're thinking of going, also you have to bring far fewer miniatures. They also have, and the reason I have this graphic up here, they're going to have some new things. So they have a new set of terrain for their Metropolis 2. I don't know if they'll have that on display yet. I think they will. And they also are they have Cyberpunk Edgerunners. If you haven't seen the Netflix show Edgerunners, it's amazing. It's sort of in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, but it takes place beforehand. I think it's pitted around the year 2070. So it's kind of like a prequel to Cyberpunk 2077, although it's a standalone story, so you don't need one for the other. But it's really good. Let's see. Is there a difference between Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone and Cyberpunk Edgerunners? Great question. Effectively, no. It's the timeline. So think Star Wars Legion, if you're familiar with Star Wars Legion or any Star Wars game, and you are running an army and you're running a republic with like Jedi and clones. That's like Cyberpunk Red. And Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which is a Cyberpunk Combat Zone game, this is a standalone starter, is just a different time frame. It's like, like 20 years past that. So that's like Empire versus Rebels sort of thing. You have certain corporations that exist in both timelines. So you have Arasaka, who's kind of like the big bad. Although all the corporations are sort of the big bad from a certain point of view, right? Well, especially from Johnny Silverhand's point of view, especially Arasaka. But yeah, so that's all Edgerunners is. Is it in the other thing with the Edgerunners box? It's colored a little bit more appropriately for the Netflix show, so a little bit more brighter colors. It's a little bit less grimdark and a little bit more bright and shiny, even though there's definitely grimdark stuff in it. Cyberpunk Red is, yes, there is a tabletop role-playing game. What I'm talking about is Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. So putting it all together, right? Cyberpunk Red is a timeline of, like, I want to say around 2050. Somewhere around between 2030 and 2050 or something like that. Or no, I think it's specifically 2050. I think there's Cyberpunk Red, and then Cyberpunk 2077, with Edgerunners falling just prior to 2077 being 2070. So those are just time periods. This is Cyberpunk Combat Zone, the Cyberpunk Edge Runners sets. Now you can mix and match these gangs. You can play people from Cyberpunk Red against the Santo Domingo gang from the Edge Runners. You can mix and match. Yes, same rules, different time period. That's all. I think we may even see stuff from them that moves forward in time, and they're doing a lot. And so, if you like Cyberpunk 2077 like I do, one of my favorite video games of all time, there may be even more of that. They also have a vehicles Kickstarter that I pledged. And because I didn't actually, so I haven't unboxed this yet, but they have the core set is available, which you can get both both the Arasaka gang and then the Edge Runners and then Terrain and all of this stuff. And they have them as standees too. So if you don't want, if you like pre-painted models or you don't want to have to build and paint models, they have these acrylic standees that are actually really nice that you can use in lieu of like regular models, or you can do both. It makes it a little cheaper because this way you can get your whole core set for like $100, which is awesome. Because you're getting terrain, you're getting all of the cards and tokens and dice and the board, and it's a double-sided board. You're getting all this stuff. You're getting all the gangs and all of that stuff. And the acrylic standees are really nice. They're ready to play straight out of the box. You don't have to paint them or anything. You put them up, and they're not like little cardboard flags. They're not like cardboard tokens. Like they're plastic. They're just, think of like flat miniatures that are ready to play and pre-painted, and they look fantastic. They look more like cartoon characters, really. They look just like straight out of the show. They're gorgeous. So that's cool stuff. It's a fun game. It's a super fun game system. Very easy. They have the vehicles set, but I pledged for the vehicles. I didn't pledge for this one. I don't know if I'm going to get a review copy of this or not. They've sent me a lot of stuff, so I try not to ask for too much. Like some publishers, I go out and I'll ask for, hey, do you have this or do you have that? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I didn't ask them for this one, but I definitely would love to check it out. But I pledged for the vehicle Kickstarter, which they have the Heracles, the airship, and then all these cars and motorcycles and all this other stuff, which I'm excited for that one too. All right. Also, another cool thing about this works on any size board you want. Their normal board is like a 2 by 1.5, or it's kind of a smaller board that you can easily play on a tabletop or kitchen table. But you can make this game work on any board you want. And so I've played it on 6 by 4. I've played it on 2 by 2. You can play it on anything, which is very cool. Oh, okay. And the reason I said earlier, let's talk about GW. Let's talk about Games Workshop. Do we have any Warhammer players? 40K, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team. Gosh, they have so many games right now. It's so many people trying to get me to play Middle Earth also. So, yeah. Necromunda. Oh, of course, Necromunda. Any games you're thinking of adding to your channel, from Mr. Habitino? So I guess we'll see. That's a really good question to ask me after Adepticon. It's a really good question to ask me afterwards. Because I've been adding some Age of Sigmar coverage to the channel. It's hard to add a new game to my channel and expect it to get the same kind of coverage. It's a little easier if it's very similar. Like if it's another Star Wars game, it's easy for me to add because, my target audience is already right here. If it's Star Trek Into the Unknown, was actually pretty easy for me to add because that it overlaps so much with the X-Wing and Armada. People who like, Starship games on tabletops and pre-painted miniatures and all of that. But I've noticed adding like Age of Sigmar stuff, I'll get significantly fewer views on videos about that. I'll get significantly less, and so it's tricky to find what's going to work for everybody, and it's also risky because if my videos start getting too many fewer views, then it affects the rate at which YouTube will like recommend stuff to other people, and so it can start this whole downward spiral where like even though it's not a big deal, like sometimes like when I did some Magic the Gathering videos a while back, I was looking at like some of the Doctor Who commander decks. I was losing subscribers every day. It was like hemorrhaging subscribers. And it wasn't just because, oh, you did something with magic, but it was that you broke the chain, you broke the patterns, and like it's just so weird. So there's enough channels for 40K and Age of Sigmar. Well, you know, part of what I do is I do stuff that I love talking about. And so, but yeah, so it's not stuff that I want to cover like full time, but I still want to talk about it because I enjoy these games. So I'm still going to talk about them to an extent. Here's one that I think is a perfect fit, though, is if they bring back Battlefleet Gothic. Since I cover a lot of Starship games, I think that Battlefleet Gothic would be a perfect fit for my channel, and it'd be really fun. So I hope, and I've heard rumblings of it. I think this would be a fantastic year for Warhammer or GW to bring back Battlefleet Gothic and return to like space combat. Considering the dropping of X-Wing and Armada, I think there's a massive hole when it comes to Starship games. Now, it's not completely empty. There are other Starship games, and we're going to talk about some of them here. But yes, have you played the OPR Starship game? I don't know what that is. No, so yeah, so there's that. There's always Halo. Yeah, well, Halo Flashpoint is another one. But there's the Halo, you know, Fleet game, which one-page rules. No, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, Battlefleet. No, I've never played Battlefleet Gothic. I didn't play it back in the day, so I'd be going into it blind. But I did play. There was a video game version I got on Steam for Battlefleet Gothic. All right, we're gonna do another giveaway. This is gonna be giveaway number 5. So let's do Adepticon 5, hashtag Adepticon 5 if you want to win an Adepticon pledge. It gets you a badge, not pledge, but package that gets you into Adepticon, gets you into the convention, and it'll get you $20 of store cart credit that you can put towards your stuff. Again, now these are for people who are already going to go, because this doesn't get you all the way there. This gets your badge paid for. And it's not retroactive. If you already bought a badge, you're not going back. You know, they're not going to refund your existing badge. So, all right. This one is going to be JJ Gueron. Congratulations, JJ. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and I will get you squared away. And make sure you remind me, if you win any of these things, make sure you remind me what you have won, because we are going to also do away some. We're going to do some non-Adepticon giveaways as well. And plus, I do stuff like this all the time, so I, get sometimes. I'd hate to accidentally, like, if you win something and I send you the wrong thing or whatever. You know what I mean? So let's keep going. So anyway, yeah, that's my big prediction for GW. Is I hope that they announce like Battlefleet Gothic or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. I also am looking forward to some of the Age of Sigmar stuff. They just dropped something new for Horus Heresy that looked really cool. It's really awesome looking model. But I think for Age of Sigmar, if you guys are Age of Sigmar players, they have you've done some drop fleet, but I haven't seen it played. I also haven't seen it played. I have no idea how to play it. I'm hoping to get a demo. If you notice, my drop fleet stuff is unboxings and painting, because I know how to do those things, and I don't know how to play the game. Now, yes, they have also sent me a rule book, but I don't have like people near me that want to play and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to read a rule book and to learn how to play a game solo. I've got to find like the community, and there isn't like that community. If you're watching this video, you might want to click that live button, because I'm seeing some entries for some of the giveaways that are probably like 10 minutes behind. So make sure you're caught up. I feel bad if you enter to win a giveaway that was already given away 10 minutes ago. So, sorry about that if that happens. So, like Jonas Skinner, I see your entry with the Cyberpunk 4. We did that one a while back. So you are probably watching behind, but I'm guessing you're not the only one, because I've seen a couple other people do that too. So maybe refresh and hang out live. All right. It's 40K coming up on its 3-year cycle. Oh, that could be having a new edition. And here's a weird thing: is I love the way they do new editions. To me, it's exciting. I don't play Age of Sigmar that often, but we're coming up close to a year of our first year of 4th edition, and I find myself like I'm ready for rumors of 5th edition to start. My goal is by the time that 4th edition is done, and we usher in 5th edition, I will have played all of my armies at least once, and all of the builds for those armies that I want to play at least once. As of right now, I've played quite a few. I still have another ogre army I want to try, at least 2 different ogre builds that I want to try, a couple more Skaven builds I want to try, and quite a few more Stormcast Eternals builds I want to try. I haven't really done much with dragons and Stormcast Eternals just yet. So I want to play through all of it, and then I'm ready for 5th edition to come out, and then everything kind of gets tweaked, and then I get to kind of play them all again and see how they've changed. And it's just like a living game for me, and I don't mind having to buy a new rule book every couple of years for that. Yeah. All right. So, but yeah. So I'm hoping. Chaos Dwarves probably going to be announced for Age of Sigmar. I've heard rumors of that. The immediate things is we're probably going to get some new stuff for the fishy people, and also the Caradron Overlords, which is the next faction that I have my eyes on. I want to build a dwarf army. I want to build a Caradron over Ideneth Deepkin. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, the IDK. Ideneth Deepkin. Funny story. They may be the first thing that got me into Age of Sigmar, even though I don't have an Ideneth Deepkin army. I have a couple of models I haven't put together, but I put together that little crab pack that they made for the other game that you could use. And at the time, there was a way that I could run those with Stormcast Eternals under 3rd edition. There is not under 4th edition, and they're also under Legends right now. So this crab that I bought for the Ideneth Deepkin, this little Regiment of Renown or whatever they're called, I bought them and I've never been able to use them. So they're in the pile of things that are not really legal anymore. So they weren't very good either way, but it was a cool crab model. So hopefully they'll do more stuff like that. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I'm curious if they do announce anything really cool for Ideneth Deepkin. If they announce like a really big crab monster, I'm gonna have to get that, and I will have to start playing Ideneth Deepkin. I have a couple of models. I picked up that Ideneth Deepkin versus Fire Slayers box. I found it on sale, really good price. But those are still in the box. I want to start Caradron Overlords, but really I want to see Ogres get a refresh. Ogre Maw Tribes. Their models are very, very old. I'd love for some of that stuff to come back in stock. Skaven, I'm totally fine with where Skaven are at right now. I don't think they need anything else. I don't think Stormcast need anything else. I'm totally fine with them, but Stormcast are always going to get new stuff, it seems like. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Our good friends over at Linvander Studios will have a booth for Snapships Tactics. Now, you may have heard me talk about this game, and I've talked a little bit about the void that is left after the cancellation of X-Wing and Armada. Snapships Tactics offers a feel of gameplay that's very much akin to X-Wing 1.0, although it's got some totally different mechanics that really feel very, very fun. But there's a feel that reminds me of the good old-fashioned dogfights of yesteryear, right? I didn't even write that down. That was just all off the hip. I'm like, gosh, I should do this. I should run a YouTube channel where I talk about spaceship games. Wouldn't you think? No, Snapship Tactics is a very, very cool game, and they have some new stuff that's going to be coming out soon. And we're going to be taking some closer looks into some of their new cockpits and some of the new stuff that is coming out. Isn't FASA? I don't know what FASA is. FASA, Flight Admiral Security Authenticator. No, I have no idea what that. I'm guessing. There's a lot of acronyms. It's probably an acronym that I know that I'm just forgetting at this given moment. Battletech. Oh, Battletech is a popular game. I was joking around with Evan, who you may know from over at the 5th Trooper But Evan was making some jokes with me about their specialty dice that they had at Gen Con a few years ago for BattleTech. They were metallic dice, and they were very pretty, but they were crazy expensive. It was like, I think it was like $50 for like 4 dice or something like that. And we're just like, nope, that's okay, that's okay. Starfleet Battles. Oh, there's an old game. Original Crimson Skies miniatures game. Oh wow, you're throwing all kinds of old school games. Oh, okay. Oh, no spaceship fleet game. Well, I'll be on the lookout for them. And that's another thing that I'm hoping. I'm hoping that there's a lot of really interesting looking games like that, so I can walk around and get demos of games. And I'm hoping, I want people to wow me. I want to be, I have a little bit of spending money, and maybe there's going to be something I can do. Although sometimes, if I'm lucky, people are like, oh well, let's just give you a copy so you can review it. Sometimes that happens too. Though I'm not, I never expect that, and but that has happened on a couple of occasions. And then there's sometimes where I have expected it and it didn't happen, and I felt bad. So I'm like, okay, well, never expect that. It's wonderful when it does happen, but I don't know, like even almost the over what like 99% of the stuff I've reviewed I've had to buy, almost all of it. There's a very few things that I've gotten for free, but it's really nice when it does happen, and it's sometimes it's hard when it happens at a convention because you have to have a way to get it home. Crimson Skies on the Xbox. I loved that game. Let's do another giveaway. Okay. This one is going to be, we'll call it hashtag Snapships6. Snapships6. All right, we'll do that. And then that's for the next Adepticon pass. And we're getting close. We're getting close to the grand prize. The grand prize is going to be a very cool one. All right, cool stuff. I'm gonna have a sip of this, and we are going to move forward. But yeah, I'm gonna try and swing by their booth. There's something that I think that they said they're gonna announce at Adepticon about the bases, about the flight stands. They have something new there. But definitely check this game out. I really enjoy it. I don't get to play it as much, but it's very cool because you're actually building. Like, you have these blocks, you actually build the ships. The ships are a little bigger, they take up a little more play space. And so instead of running like 7 or 8, you don't have a whole swarm. You're typically running like 2 or 3 versus your opponent's 2 or 3 ships. So, so your ships are a little bit, there's fewer ships on the tabletop, but you get to play with them, you get to have fun, it's beautiful. So, yeah. Drawfleet Commander was also talked about. And yes, I talked about it a little bit. It's a game that I don't actually know how to play, and I'm hoping to remedy that. I've had some, we have a local guy named Cameron who has offered twice to teach me how to play it, and each time it's just been at like the worst possible time when it just had no availability. So Cameron, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Sorry, it just hasn't worked out. All right, our winner for the Snapship 6 for the next Adepticon giveaway, that's going to be Stefan Bennett. Stephen Bennett? Stefan Bennett? Stephan Bennett. So congratulations. I don't know if I'm saying it right. If it's Stefan, I think when there's an A after it, it's a Stefan, right? So hopefully I'm not saying your name wrong, but you let me know if I'm saying it wrong. Doesn't matter how I say it, because it's not going to change the email address. But go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. And German spelling, U.S. pronunciation. Okay. So I'm saying it right then? It's not Steven? It's Stefan? Stefan for number 1 for Stefan, 2 for Steven. I don't know. We'll get there. I'm getting Steven. Oh, okay. All right. So, Dropfleet Commander. This is a game that has some things that just make so much sense for me that I would have loved for an Armada type of game to have. One, you can actually field a fleet, an Armada. You can field a lot of ships. You can activate whole groups with like a single action, which is also really cool. And you have things like, oh, this ship blew up, and this ship right next to it also took damage. Oh, and maybe you caused a chain reaction, and the ship next to that also blew up. You know, and boom, 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 boom. So you can do things like that. So you know, those are some of my favorite things about like trying to learn how to play Drop Fleet Commander. So it's been a really cool thing. Cameron, you are actually here. I didn't even know you were in chat. I was just talking about you. Well, welcome, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Not local anymore, but I'm down there twice a year. Very cool stuff. But yeah, TT Combat they have a couple of games. Funny thing is, they also have a wrestling game, and they were teasing some new wrestlers, and the art, it looked like they were teasing like Dragon Ball Z style wrestlers, because they had like a character, although it was kind of shadowy, that looked just like Beerus from Dragon Ball Z. And I don't know if, well, technically I guess he wasn't in Dragon Ball Z. I think he was in you know, Super, but still, yeah, they had this wrestling game, and they were teased Beerus, but then when you saw it, it wasn't Beerus. Like, it was just a character that was like obviously Beerus, but it was named something different, and like a lot of his flavor text made it sound like he was like a legally distinct, but not actually Beerus. And I was like, oh, I was hoping he actually had a Dragon Ball Z crossover, but it's not. That wasn't what it was. Oh, there's 2 new Drop Verse games. I did hear something else about like a Drop Dudes Commander or something like that. So they also have Drop Zone Commander, which is kind of like a 10mm large vehicle game. But yeah, it's interesting. There's not a whole lot of people in Orlando playing like Drop Noun games, but it would be cool if there were. Gundam Assemble. Okay, so we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's do another giveaway real quick. This one's going to be Adepticon, hashtag Adepticon 7. Adepticon 7. So I have some other things. To talk about. I think that's most of. I already got. Wow, I gotta just look at my email. I got a lot of you guys have been emailing me, which is very cool. You guys are being very punctual, and I appreciate that. So as those roll in, we're going to, let's see, what are we going to do? Let's talk about, all right, so yeah, there's a Gundam miniatures game that's coming out there. Now, I wasn't ever really big into Gundam, but I know enough people that it makes me excited when we're getting some kind of beloved franchise that's finally getting a miniatures game. So that was a cool one. I was thinking of talking about that when I do my next, last year we started doing this new series of videos, and they were called Amazing or Awesome Gaming News or Amazing Gaming. I don't know, remember the name. It was AGN, right? And I wanted to be like positive, happy stories that were based on, you know, some kind of gaming stuff that's not outrage or whatever, but things to celebrate, right? And so I thought that was really cool. So I was going to talk a little bit about that. I was going to talk about Star Trek Captain's Chair, also from Whiz Kids, which is a deck builder. That one's apparently is sold out. Gundam might be a hit if it depends. I don't know. I think it has enough depth. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, big robots attacking each other is a cool, you know, it's a cool thing. It's been done before, but it could still be there. All right, the Adepticon 7 winner is going to be Bob Wilson. Congratulations, Bob Wilson. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. We are powering through. That's already 7 winners here, plus 1 from Patreon. We've got 2 badges left before we get to the grand prize. And then we'll also throw up some other promos. I may drop those down in Discord as well. So that's a very cool thing. But yes, all right, let's go ahead and see. Well, what else did we want to? Oh, I wonder if Gale Force 9 will be at Adepticon. It's not really, they're not really a miniatures company, but you know, they do have Star Trek Ascendancy on GameFound right now. Or any oh yes, the email is going to be mailcrabbok@gmail.com. It's also, if you go to the about page on my YouTube, it's the way to contact me there. Yeah, I'll type it out. There we go. GF9 has been there every year for the last several years. Oh well, that's good to know. Yeah, they'd be a fun one to talk to. It's weird because I've followed this, and it's a game, a campaign I'm not gonna back because I already have so much stuff for Ascendancy, but it's something I've looked at. They do make a lot of terrain. You're right. I have never seen their terrain, but I've seen ads for it. I haven't seen it up close yet. And that's another cool thing I'm looking forward to. Terrain. I love terrain. I have a lot of it, but I do love terrain, and I think that's why I don't know, like why I liked the Fantasy Flight rules for Star Wars Legion more, is because like I could do anything I wanted with terrain. Blacksite Studios, I've heard of them. They were doing terrain, but they also have like a lunar, like a 1960s kind of era space game on the moon or something like that they're coming out with now too. Yeah. Looking forward to Gale Force 9's launch of Star Trek Ascendancy. Hopefully it's as good a deal as their Firefly 10th edition was. Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right. So, do we have any fans of Dungeons and Dragons in here? Because we go back, when we were talking about Star Trek Into the Unknown earlier, I forgot to mention WizKids has something else that's really cool. Baldur's Gate 3, like one of the best video games of all time. They're doing a miniatures line for the characters from Baldur's Gate 3, and those look really, really cool. I was hoping they would be out already, but I think they're coming out soon. I don't know when they're actually coming out, but yeah, they look really cool. I mean, if you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, I strongly recommend it. Strongly recommend it. Amazing game. Amazing game. Just it's an experience. It really did a tremendous job. But yes, very, very cool stuff. Want to know what you guys. So for you guys that are going or are planning to go or thinking about going, what are some of the different why do you go to a convention like Adepticon? As somebody, like, because this is my first time going, do you go for the tournaments, or do you go for like the workshops, like to do a painting workshop or to learn new skill sets, or do you go to like just to walk the vendor hall? That's always been one of my favorite things, is just walking the vendor hall and seeing like, oh, I'm going to get a little demo of this game. Oh, I'm going to get a demo of that. They're selling this, and it's a bundle. You can buy one, get two free. Oh, I'm going to get that. Oh, new dice. Oh, let's take a look at the dice, and all of that sort of things. Yeah. Does anyone know if Battlefront goes to Adepticon with Bolt Action? And those other games, I would imagine Bolt Action was a fairly popular game for a while. I would imagine that they would be there. Yeah, the X-Wing tournament mostly, and then the vendor hall was amazing last year. Yeah, no, this is a bigger convention hall. Hopefully, there's a lot more room for vendors. I have high hopes, but I also don't have anything to compare it to. I guess the closest thing I would have to compare it to would be Gen Con. But Gen Con is for like all games. So I think the experience will be different. Typically, Gen Con has a lot of vendors that I'm less interested in. And the vendors I'm most interested in are going to be vendors that are more similar to Adepticon style vendors. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Bob is playing in Legion Worlds, also the Cyberpunk event on Saturday, but might have to drop from that and the vendor hall. Yeah, I know they have a couple of spots left, not too many. So if you guys are, if you guys play Cyberpunk Combat Zone, or even if you don't, you could learn it real quick. It's a simple system. It's not hard to learn, but I find it very rewarding, and the amount and it has this cool narrative aspect of it too. I think it's just very cool. It's a great system. I enjoy it. All right, it's time for our 8th giveaway. It's going to be hashtag Adepticon8. Give me a hashtag Adepticon8 down in the chat if you want to have a chance to win, and we'll pick a winner from that, and we'll keep going. Looking at some of your stories here, I'm trying to get to everybody. I know I missed some of your chat, and I apologize for that. Let's see. Floating by says, just recently bought Armada. Setting everything up now. This channel introduced me to the game, and I'm excited to become part of the community. Well, I'm super happy to have you. The game is still being played quite a lot. It's just incredibly hard to find official products, which has led a lot of people to like Etsy to get 3D printed ships made and cardboard and cards and things like that. But it's a magnificent game, and I hope you have a wonderful time playing it, because I still plan to play it for a very long time and continue to support the game because it's wonderful. All right, our winner from this one is going to be Din Dolmer. Congratulations, Din Dolmer, Dindolmer. Just go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. And we'll get you squared away with that. And make sure you tell me what you have won. We're going to do a couple of other giveaways, too. So I'm going to do 2 real quick. I've got 2 promos for X-Wing. We've got a shield upgrade, double-sided. And a crack shot. For you X-Wing players. Just give me a hashtag X-Wing if you want to have a chance to win these. This is unrelated to the Adepticon giveaway. I told you we were doing some other stuff. So if you're not going to Adepticon, you could still win these, because I'll mail these to you anywhere in the world. Who just won? I got an ad and I didn't hear. It was Din Dolmer, James. I did see your entry, but you were not the winner there. It's okay. You're good to go. But yes. All right. Sorry about the ads. I have it does them automatically, so yeah, I apologize for that. You know what I will do before I do the next giveaway? I will do a manual ad and see if that forces like a commercial to play, and then that should give everybody some time so you definitely don't give one. What's the giveaway? Oh, okay. Well, if you've just joined, we're giving away passes. Bundled passes to Adepticon that come with some store credit and a badge to get into the con. We also have a Grand Prize, which is an advanced badge, which comes with a whole bunch of swag. The advanced badge alone is $175 value, plus $100 in store credit for your cart to sign up for extra events. That is still coming. And right now, we're giving away some X-Wing promos. So even if you're not going to Adepticon, or you just play X-Wing at home, we got a crack shot and a shield upgrade that'll go to one lucky person with the X-Wing hashtag. Yeah, we're going to do that, and then we're going to do our final regular core badge for Adepticon. But I am going to send an ad before I announce winners, so ad as hopefully we'll play now. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to read over some of your chat before I announce winners, so this will give you guys some time. So Robin N says, the Gale Force 9's Dungeons & Dragons figures are always way better looking than the pre-painted ones that Wizards of the Coast sells. I have never seen Gale Force 9's Dungeons & Dragons figures. I will have to take a look if they have those there. That's very interesting. Fernando's coming to play Team Flames of War and Team Yankee. I've never played Flames of War. Although I was playing a World of Tanks miniatures game a while back that I've heard had some comparability to Flames of War. All right, so for the X-Wing giveaways, that's going to be Nangoro, Nangoro. All right, congratulations, Nangoro. Make sure you shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. Whiz.com. All right. What I'm going to do, we also have a Star Wars Armada Commsnet. This one is, I'm going to throw this one immediately after the stream. We'll throw this one in Discord. So this will be a Discord giveaway. So if you're watching the stream later on, there's still some, because then I'll let that one run for a few days. So the Commsnet one will be one that you have a chance to win after the fact. So that's going to be, we have a, if you join our Discord, we have a like this basically a role selection channel where you click on all the games you're interested in. Definitely check on the general. Also, there's a general category that has all the other categories of the off-topic channels, giveaways, and all that other stuff. So you don't want to miss the giveaways. But yes, so definitely join our Discord and do that. Any plans to try out the Gundam Minis game? JJ asks. If they have it available to try and learn, then sure. If it's a fun game system, like I imagine Gundams would be fun to paint, and maybe it'll be enough to make me want to watch. I heard they just had a new Netflix show, and I've got some friends that are into Gundam, so that'll be a cool thing. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do our last regular Adepticon giveaway. And this one is going to be hashtag Adepticon9. Hashtag Adepticon9. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. We are rolling with we are rolling really fast. X-Mage 2 has the question of the night, everyone. X-Mage 2. Okay. So he says, when is the urban painting contest on Discord ending? Oh, okay. So I have to give some context because I don't know how many people are in our Discord right now, but we do painting contests in our Discord, and they usually would run for a couple of weeks. I'd announce a winner, and at some point, I would end the contest, and then I would do, I'd pick a winner. You get a special Discord role, and in a special color, and and then I do a video highlighting some of my favorites, and then the top 3 and stuff like that. Something happened with this urban painting contest where it's been going on for months. It's been going on for a long time, and I've never found a spot to end it. It's been going on since last May, more than just regular months, almost a year. So the answer to your question is I don't know when it's going to end. There's a big part of me that wants to let it go the full year. But yeah. I'm guessing these are if we are going to Adepticon. If you can go, yes. With this Adepticon, with these badges, their admission into the con and some extras for going to the con, but it doesn't get you there. It's not an airfare or a free hotel room. Although you can get great hotel rates on the Adepticon page, which is linked in the video description below. But if you have no plans, if you know that you can't go, then I ask, please don't try to take one away from somebody who could actually put it to good use. And it's not like we're going to mail you something that you can then just sell, because what happens is you're going to email me, and then I'm going to submit that email address to Adepticon, and they're going to digitally issue it to you. So it's not transferable. You know what I mean? What if you've already bought a badge? Excellent question. This is only applicable to new badges. So you would have to start all over. Now, it might be advantageous for you to just start with an all-new badge if you want to get the $20 of credit. The problem is if you've already signed up for other events, you'll lose all of those. So this is for new badges only. Sorry, I don't have anything for people who are already going. That's why I was doing other giveaways also, like some of the Armada stuff. We'll do one more for you Legion players. I'm going to do that at the end. So I've got a Star Wars Legion giveaway I'll do at the end after we do the grand prize, because I'll feel bad if, I don't leave some of you guys with just one more giveaway. Okay. All right, so the winner for the Adepticon 9 hashtag, that is going to be Cameron Severin. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. Congratulations, Cameron. All right, and we'll go ahead and... Can I win a grand prize if I win a normal? Yes. So here's how that would work. If you win a grand prize and you've already won a regular Adepticon winner, just let me know right away, and then I'll do an extra giveaway for that same one, and then I'll change you out here. Yeah. So we'll try to knock that out. If that happens, let me know, because I may not have. I don't remember exactly who won everything right now. I have to consult my documentation stuff. So if you've already won, you're still eligible to enter to win the last giveaway as well. So that's, and then again, if one frees up as a result of that, then we'll just do another giveaway. Okay. But nobody here can win 2 badges though. That's the only thing, is you can't win 2. It's 1 per person. All right. Because it's bound to an email address, and it's also, I don't want one person hogging up all the gifts. You're on horseback right now. Dude, Cameron, pay attention to the horse. Do not die. Do not die. Okay, all right. Well, don't forget to email me at mailcrabbok@gmail.com and tell me what you've won so I don't forget. Again, I do a lot of other giveaways. All right, so we've been doing this for a while now, and gosh, it is getting late. It's a Saturday night. I know plenty of you want to go out dancing and partying or gaming and getting into all sorts of shenanigans. It's time for the final giveaway. One more time to talk about what this giveaway is for. What are you getting? Because this is a great giveaway. This is a great giveaway. All right. This final grand prize giveaway, again, courtesy of Adepticon, is for 1 advanced badge plus $100 web cart credit. Now, $100 in web cart credit is already enough to get you, now there are probably multiple events. There are some events that are more expensive than $100, but most are cheaper than that. And plenty are free too. There's some that are free. But so that's awesome. You can get like these painting workshops, like you get a miniature with them. Sometimes you have to bring your own brushes. So definitely check out and read over the fine print on them. But you're also getting the advanced badge. The advanced weekend badge includes a guaranteed advanced swag bag, in addition to an Adepticon 2025 pin badge, an Adepticon 2025 coaster, an Adepticon 2025 exclusive miniature, in addition to all of the other benefits of the Adepticon Weekend Core badge. The advanced badge has a value of $175. Plus, again, you're also getting that $100 web cart credit. So it's like a $275 value that we are giving away. Thanks to Adepticon. I mean, I say I'm giving it away, but I'm saying we, because Adepticon reached out to me to facilitate all of this. So this is really cool of them. And so I'm thrilled to be doing this for you guys. Okay. But yes, again, this isn't retroactive. So if you already bought an advanced badge, they're not going to just refund yours. This is for an all new badge. I wonder if you can save the credit towards next year. I don't think so. There's so many awesome events that you can sign up for, though. I don't think there's plenty. There's overwhelming amount of stuff. As a matter of fact, it can seem that way. All right, but this is web cart credit, though. I don't think this isn't money that you can spend on like at the exhibitor hall and stuff like that. This is stuff to get a painting workshop or pay for tournament fees and things like that. So if you want to do that Cyberpunk Combat Zone tournament, boom, there you go. And all of these events too have, well, I don't know about all of them, but I mean pretty much all the ones that I know of have some additional benefit of going too, like promo cards or rewards, or like painting workshops have like a miniature usually or something like that. Read the fine print, but they seem to all come with something as a bonus, which is very, very cool. So Awesome stuff. Let's do, we'll call this hashtag grand prize. If you want to, if you can go to Adepticon, if you can get there, and if you are, if you're going to take advantage of this advanced badge, hashtag grand prize in the chat right now, folks. We're going to let this run for a few minutes. And I will give you guys a hint of what is also coming after this. We are doing a Star Wars Legion upgrade, and it is a French version of Force Push. Now, this is an older promo when it only costs 10 points as opposed to the 40 that it costs now. The funny thing is, Force Push, it sounds a little funny to an English speaker like me, because it's poussé par la force. It's not even showing up, but that's how they word French puss. French puss. I just said French puss. What the hell is wrong with me? Force push. Oh my God, it's been a long day, folks. We're trying to hold it together. We are trying to hold it together. All right. Let's see. How many entries do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. Let's see, 13 entries. We're going to go to the old. All right. It looks like we have our winner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And our winner for the grand prize is Don Lovejoy. Congratulations, Don. You've got the grand prize for the Adepticon 2025 Advanced Badge. Congratulations, sir. Do me a favor. Just like type something in chat so we know that you're here. We know that you didn't get an ad. And if I don't hear from you, I'll give you a few more minutes. But yeah, congratulations, Don Lovejoy. There he is. Okay, all right, there he is. He's there. All right. So all I need from you, Don, go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and we'll get you squared away. Make sure you tell me what you've won so I don't accidentally sign you up for one of the regular badges. So there we go. All right. And to everybody who did not win, thank you for playing. We are going to do French Force Push for Star Wars Legion. Here it is. Okay. We got the French. Do a hashtag Force Push if you want a chance to enter to win this one, too. This one can go to anybody, anywhere in the world. You don't have to go to Adepticon to get that. I'll mail it to you. Hashtag Force Push to win that one. And then we'll start to round things down. It's worded poussé par la force. But yeah. Which is a fun one. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. We've got just a little over a month until Adepticon. The cool thing about the Adepticon website also is it tells you if you're driving in, it gives you parking rates for the various hotels that are very, very close. So for Poussé par la Force is running right now for the French language Force Push, and we'll let that run for another minute. This has been an excellent stream. We had a lot of great questions. We did a lot of discussion. Would love to get a booth, but I'm sure that's mega expensive. My kobolds don't make that much money currently. Yes. Oh, yeah. It would be really fun. It would be fun to do stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know what kind of. And then not only is there the cost of the booth, but then you also have to have a crew to set up and tear down. You know, it's a lot of hours, and you have to be there early. You can't. You gotta stay late. You know, you gotta have a lot of people to run a booth at a con. It's not a small. You know, especially if you're selling product too, because then you have to have people wash. I know, like at Gen Con years ago, there was a thing where somebody went around and were stealing like the cash boxes out of booths. You know, and so you have to really I mean, most people would never do stuff like that, but all it takes is one to kind of ruin it for everybody else, you know. All right, for our force push, that's going to be, let's do our thing. Oh, okay, let's go. We're going to go. Here we go. We're getting 1, 2. Looks like Robin N. Congratulations, Robin N. You have won the French force push. Even though you did a hashtag French push. Okay, that's funny too. But yes, congratulations. Make sure you shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and we'll get this out to you just as soon as I can. Hopefully that means fairly soon. You know, funny story. Of all the giveaways I've been doing, there was a point in time where I was getting some emails from people, and they're saying, "Hey, I never got the giveaway. I never got the giveaway." And I would be like, "Well, I mailed it." Like sometimes I'll wait a few days, you know, especially around like December when I'm doing the 12 Days of Life Day. I'll have a lot of things to send out. But I had like maybe 4 or 5 people. Please give it to someone else. Okay, well, we'll pick again, Robin. All right. Well, thank you for your honesty. All right, new winner is going to be X-Mage 2. X-Mage 2. Congratulations, X-Mage 2. If you're still here, you've got the force push. If it doesn't get claimed, that'll roll over into another giveaway. But hopefully you're still here, X-Mage 2. All right. But no, so I was wondering why some people were saying, like, boy, I never got your stuff. And it turns out I was mailing stuff. Like, I worked in a building that had a mail room. And the mail room was usually empty. And it turns out that the post office wouldn't come pick up from the mail room unless somebody called them. And people only called like maybe once or twice a year. And so, and I realized this, like when all of a sudden I got an email from like 3 or 4 different people that I had sent stuff to saying, "Oh, I finally got the promo." And I'm like, "Wait, you got it?" And he got it in the same day. And he got it in the same day. But they were mailed like, a month apart from each other. So really it was super surprising for me. And I started putting it all together, and that's how I found out that the mailbox that I had been using was getting only picked up a couple times a year. So I don't, but I don't work at that building anymore, and I don't use mailboxes that I don't trust anymore. So yeah, the system's a little better now. Peter says, "We need a Thundercats game." Oh my goodness. How I wouldn't go crazy for a Thundercats game. I would absolutely love it. Unless Atomic Mass Games made it. Although even that, in that case, I'd be obligated to at least check it out. All right, guys, that is going to do it. We're going to go ahead and wrap everything up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. But it's been wonderful. To all the winners, congratulations. To everybody who played, thank you so much for hanging out. And for everybody else that's going to be at Adepticon, I will see you there. We'll have a fantastic time. And we have more great content coming up next week as well. And hopefully every week until we hit 100,000 subscribers, which feels like it's never coming. Feels like it's never going to come. That's one of those goals. That was my goal when I started out. It's like, I want to hit 100,000, get one of those fancy schmancy YouTube plaques. Never. I don't think I can get there, right? With AMG canceling all the games that I cover. my subscriber count is in the gutter thanks to Atomic Mass Games. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I want to thank you so much, and may the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. And always wash your socks.